Hello and welcome to Fragments of Remains, session 30. Last week, unfortunately, unable to play. Whether it was Discord, my equipment, it kind of is still a mystery to me. But I was unable to really communicate through Discord for whatever reason. But fortunately, with having that night off and then a wonderful team of players helping me out, trying to troubleshoot everything, was able to participate and do all the rest of the games through the week. So much appreciated. Again, thank you, everyone. But then with that, since we kind of had like a little bit of a chatter last week, how was everyone's week?
I cannot complain, man. I had a good time this last week.
Memorial Day vacation was nice. That's right.
Fun. What'd you do?
Did you do anything
Man,
fun?
I feel like I did, but I can't remember it. I'm sleepy as hell.
Uh,
Word.
been busy for me. Crazy busy weekend for the holiday, and managed to get out on the boat on Monday, but it was a little windy.
Did you hear about anything like floating through the channel near you? It was saw like something on the web or the internet.
I mean, there's been like over $2 million worth of stuff in the last month turned in, if that's what you're talking about.
The one thing specifically I saw was like a good chunk of like a dock. It looked like I'm not really sure.
Oh, that stuff like that. We were out. We found a gas can float, and it was like a white gas can. Who knows what the hell that fell off the back of? Went over, picked it up. This white thing floating in the water. Went over and picked it up, and yeah, as soon as we got closer, we just smelled the gasoline in it. Picked it up and dropped it off at the next station that we saw. Just gave it to the guy. Here, you guys do something with this.
So like it was still full?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, and like I said, gas doesn't go in a white container. It was like a white water bottle someone had filled with, like a white water, like a jug from like a boat that someone had filled off. I don't know if it fell off the back. You know, who knows? It could have been something coming from the islands, whether it was people or something else.
Just someone being a dick, chucking it out a window for whatever reason. Well, anyone have any other interesting things to share from their weekend?
I'm knee deep in Disco Elysium. It's been a ride to go back through that game. I never actually completed it the first time, but holy hell, if you love a good story, absolutely pick it up. It's a fucking ride.
Hmm.
Also, it's heavy on the dice. Kind of very D&D-esque in that manner. You know, choose your actions, roll your dice. Except there's a video game attached.
I think I should not pick up any more games for a little bit.
Agreed. Your schedule is hard up enough.
But with that, who wants to take the lead for the recap? I know it's been a little bit of time, so any good details might give out a little extra exp.
Wait, so has anything happened since the last time I was here? Because I missed last week, but then you guys didn't really play.
No, last week we didn't play because I had I couldn't communicate. I'm not even sure what the problem was, whether it was Discord or it was my microphone or settings. I have no idea. It
It's
just
Discord being Discord.
like I uninstalled it, reinstalled it, and then on the third time I was just like, "Did this work?" And everyone was like, "Hey, I can hear you." And I was like, "What the fuck? I didn't do anything."
All I remember is we're on a boat, and I went
Uh,
down to go to bed.
yes, we managed to uh, have a couple of conversations. I'm trying to remember what the conversation. Yeah, just kind of finished things up around town. Um, Went down to the shore. We ended up getting out onto the boat a little early before we were expected to. did some shopping around town, if I remember correctly. People picked up last minute things that they wanted before we got out of the area. Modar did call his friend back into existence. Oh, Modar did find a nice little area that we're hidden away that he could practice his magic and spells and without being interrupted or without prying eyes. Found a little one of the druids' little hideaway areas that he gave Modar a key to. We were also named Heroes of Risk. No, that was we were named Heroes of Risk the session before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went and told Wes about the gnome fellow, of which I know much more than I told Wes, but I went and informed him about the events leading up to the fire in the tavern. Yes. I went and got a ring, and then Sanashi went and did some shopping and stuff. At the end of the session, I know we left on the boat, but
Yep, just shipping off.
and we spent a couple of days kind of in downtime. What else? Did you go around stealing things?
I tried to get his TPK. I'm
Yeah, you
working
went
on
around
it.
stealing things.
Badly. Lots of nat ones, even on advantage.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, definitely. Gotta be careful. The dice will betray you.
The dice giveth and the dice taketh away.
I swear, I'm used to playing in Icewind Dale where I'm used to thinking of Icewind Dale where it's just nighttime all the time. So like, yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely, you can go outside at any hour and just steal shit. That's how it works for me.
Yeah,
It's always dark. It doesn't matter.
I mean, most of these people are probably just regular people who have no ability to perceive anything in your invisible hand of.
Well, except for the druids who
I mean,
absolutely
yeah, which you
can
were
blow us away. I was
of whom
to
which
be
you were
fair.
trying to steal from.
To be fair, I was trying to get a diamond for Modar.
Fair enough.
Well, I guess if your intentions are good, then it's okay, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Did you end up buying a thieves' tool set?
I don't think I could afford one. I was just a little bit short. That was
'Cause
like
I know you
two-
bought a leatherworking set,
I did.
and we heard about a chimera.
Yep. We are currently down south of Raisk and have just entered a ship with our good friend Marikoth Krata, who is the first mate of the ship. We just boarded and set off with him. There are griffins screeching up and down the coast,
Yes.
presumably catching fish or maybe centaurs if they're lucky. And we have heard legend that this island to the south holds chimeras.
Well, that
Looking
there are
forward
at
to it.
least some chimeras that have been going on and off the island.
And there is something else, a mysterious, what is it? A mysterious blue
Purple
creature.
glow.
Blue
It's a
creature
purple
that shoots
hue.
lightning was also spoken of.
I thought that was the blue dragon that shoots lightning.
I'm thinking it's not a dragon, but I don't know if it's meta for me to say that, so I'll keep that to myself.
I believe we were told there was a dragon out there.
We've been repeatedly told that there is a dragon out there, to the point that from a player's perspective, I might question it some. Because, like, Venga Rolfador has never seen it, yet he's heard of it, from it being a huge to tiny, which leads me to believe that there's multiple creatures that can do this that are being mistaken for each other and a dragon. And that's why
Yeah.
the tales change. But that's
I could have swore that we also heard that it was wingless, but that might just be my personal invention. Which
Is Sans? Yeah, Sanzor is the captain of this ship, the
Mhm.
former owner of the tavern, which kind of burned down.
I don't think it kind of burned down. I'm pretty sure it did burn down.
That's correct. Yeah, it kind of definitely burned down a little.
Hell
Completely.
opened up from beneath it and swallowed the entire tavern
All
and
right.
many of its occupants.
To be fair, I'm not sure that it was. I'm not sure that it was hell. I think we haven't properly investigated that enough to say.
Okay, fair enough.
It could have been the abyss, or perhaps just an unfortunate geothermal opening. You never know.
Togo, don't believe the demon
You
that
know,
was
just
spawned
random,
from that.
spontaneous geothermal openings in the middle of town at this time of day, at this latitude.
You should be a
That's
Focus-
scientist with that kind of naming convention. That
At the-
nomenclature is flawless.
Only inside the tavern.
And it all happens at the exact same time as another creature of one of the hells shows up and starts attacking.
To be fair, we're the only people who saw that.
I'm surprised people believed that so easily. I find that mysterious as hell.
I do too, especially when Kyle mentions that it's not that common in his
Well, okay, so
homebrew
this
world,
is the
which
thing.
scares me.
The people didn't believe us. The druids did, and they believed the druids. So that's all that
that's
matters.
That is.
that's
That is
that's
more.
all
It
that
is
matters.
possible that the druids knew more about extraplanar beings. Once you're higher leveling, you have more access to that, so that might make sense.
It's possible the druids watched the whole thing happen.
In that case, they would also know that we lied through our teeth and caused it. But yeah,
What are you talking about? They know nothing about that. I just happen to be playing very well, and suddenly,
the unfortunate
Stuff started
geothermal openings. Right.
yeah. That's all.
Well, no, I'm talking about the fight itself, not inside, but the outside fight.
Oh yeah, yeah, whatever. I guess that's
Un-
what I remember.
Un-
To sum up the recap.
I'm hitherto referring to Raisk as the burning down of the bar as an unfortunate geothermal event, also known as UG. I think that's all we got, Kyle. We're just bullshitting at this point.
I was gonna say, I mean, I was gonna let you keep going because I think it's actually kind of important to bring up prior events, you know, especially at some points. And with us having last week off, it probably a good refresher for everybody. You know, that may not go back and watch the VOD a couple times a week.
That's fair. Not all of us are you.
I gotta make sure my notes are, like, at least the dates are correct, so I can put it down in my handy dandy calendar.
It's enough that you DM all of these. I can't believe that you also go back and watch them and renotate them. That's, I don't know. I feel like you must have like a hyperbolic time chamber in your house somewhere.
Yep, you got me. You found out my secret.
Fucking called it. Can I, borrow it sometime or something? Because that would be useful.
We'll talk off stream about that.
Cool, thanks.
Well, with that, excellent recap. EXP definitely well earned with that one, to say the least. But with it being a couple weeks, I'm gonna just kind of get us back to where we had left off, but first giving a little bit of a past narrative with it as well. So continuing the story on May 6th, year 1101, very early in the morning, as each of you have been awakened quite suddenly by the call out of the captain's arrival. Each of you jolted awake by the call. You all then began to gather on the deck and briefly speak with Captain Zanzer, while the crew begins preparing and arriving to the ship. The call to raise the sails and set course southwest from Captain Zander is echoed across the deck of the ship. And as you all make your way to the bow, you see the wind catching the sails of the three large masses. The bow begin to slowly turn towards the southwestern direction. It's still being a tad bit dark off to the west, the sun just now beginning to peek over the eastern horizon. You can see the stars in the sky beginning to fade from sight as the sky begins to illuminate. This being the first time any of you have been out to sea, sure, your hearts are racing, whether with fear or with excitement for what this journey may entail. That's when Zanashi, you feel a pat on your back, and like kind of like on your lower end, with short, stubby fingers. You turn.
I'm gonna turn and I'm swinging.
All right.
Was it? Where was it on the back?
Like lower mid.
Okay.
Ain't nobody just gonna touch me on my back like that while I'm sleeping.
Go ahead and give me an attack roll. Not sleeping up on the deck of the ship.
Okay, so I'm already up on the deck of the ship.
Correct. Everyone kind of gathered up after each of you had a brief conversation with Sanser in the morning before beginning to set sail, and then that's when we called it.
Oh shit, I thought I was still asleep. I forgot.
No, that would be a little bit different.
Okay, I won't swing.
Noted. As you turn, tensing up just a bit, pulling back the right hook, you know, with that natural instinct that you have, Zanashi, you see Captain Sanser. Her staring out to the open ocean with each of you. It's a beautiful sight, isn't it? Just the open sea, nice calm air catching the sails.
I prefer to be on land. But I had to go with my friends to help them.
It is nice. I've seen many ships come in and out of port back home, but never had the opportunity to adventure out on one. This should be fun.
It's nice to finally be on one instead of just seeing them. I kind of get what all the sailors talk about all the time.
Modar, you feel a light, it almost feels like a tap, but it's just like a little bit of like a rest upon your left shoulder. Turn, seeing your owl.
And I will look at it and just thank you and kind of like give my nod and say thank you to it for watching over the night. And I will snap it into its other plane so it can rest.
After it, you snap your fingers, disappears. Can you roll me a perception check at this point?
Everyone or just him?
Just Modar.
But did that do it? No.
Okay. Well, we'll have to head around the horn. Keep close to the coast. Make sure that we stay inside the light.
Any particular reason?
Superstition, if you will. Who knows if your souls will actually be protected if lost at sea, but this sets the crew at ease.
Oh, so we're paying to have our souls protected as well. A level of insurance I did not expect.
What is your character's name exactly, Cinnabon?
Lusk.
Lusk. Okay. I don't think Lusk has a soul.
You don't think so?
Oh, don't be silly. Every living creature has a soul. How corrupted it is another matter.
I guess that's true.
In fact, I would say that I have even more soul than all of you combined.
Maybe you're all soul.
I wouldn't go so far. I'm just saying, I have a few other...
Also, you say
Denizens.
that, but you've heard me play, right? I have more soul than anyone else in this entire... than anyone else you've ever met. You
Oh.
heard my music.
No denying. Your soul is immense, voluminous. I'm just saying that I have many. More than one.
You got me beat there.
Quantity
Well done.
versus quality.
Then you are very fortunate.
Why?
More souls means more life.
Not all life is worth living. But thank you.
Well, as each of you make your way into the southwestern direction, as the sun makes its way, breaking the eastern horizon, at this point, each of you give me a perception check as you begin feeling the ship turn to the east.
So now she's paying attention.
Modar is not today.
No, he's not. He has the capability of putting his nose into some books and is now taking advantage of it after feeling, I guess you could say, a bit prohibited for the past few weeks.
Yes, indeed. He has a one-track mind.
Togo and Zanashi, both of you note Alencia, being in tow, kind of helping out, giving a hand here and there for the sails, tying knots. Seems that she's up to her, I guess you could say, normal self, going about the ship, making sure that nobody needs a hand. But
It sounds like her.
each of you will note that the orangish sky to the east has a bit of a purplish hue to it as well. Being a little bit developed by the morning sun, you still see just the hint of the purple.
So we still see the hint of the purple in the sky over the island?
Correct.
And it's the same hue that we saw over shooting north towards Farnsworth?
It's a little hard to tell, but it's definitely very similar. With the orangish hue of the morning sun, it makes it a little hard to tell. It was definitely a bit more clear at night when being pointed out by Zanashi.
Alright, yeah, no, that... I guess that's where we gotta head to. How long does the boat ride, or the trip across normally take, Danzor?
We'll be heading into the straits by tomorrow morning. We have enough crew here to make sure that we set sail full speed for the day and the night. As long as the day stays calm, and the night as well, we'll be there at sunrise tomorrow.
Wonderful.
Sansa, how many days would you be waiting for us once we get there?
We'll stay in the straits for about a week. After that, with no communication, I'll have to assume that you all died.
Is there any... If a week has passed since shore, and for some reason we're still on the island, we will send a smoke signal to indicate that we're still alive.
Sending a message is not a problem.
Any sort of message will be fine. As long as we know that you're still there, we will wait. We do have the other half of the debt to settle.
That we
And
do.
that will only be possible if each of you are alive.
That is true. That would be problematic, to say the least.
However, we will not be heading upon shore as we discussed. And then she begins motioning each of you towards the stern. And once you get back there, you each notice there to be a smaller boat in tow. Large enough for each of you to sit in with no issue. Well, it'll get you close, but you'll have to use the oars to get yourself the rest of the way.
That is perfectly fine.
Hey. Well, I think I'll be flying.
Fair and true. I guess you don't have to.
Besides, always useful to have an eye in the sky.
True. Is there a limit to how long your wings can be used for before you get tired and have to land for a bit, or?
There is no hard cut limit. I would presume it's just another form of movement for me. I would presume that I would be subject to standard march rules for flying. So
Sounds good.
if Kyle says anything else, then that's on him. Or up to him, I suppose.
Yeah, I would mostly just hang out on deck enjoying the waves for the day until this evening. Try and rest before we get to the island, because I get the feeling it's gonna be it's gonna be difficult.
Well, as you each make your way into the more open ocean, can each of you give me a Constitution saving throw, please?
I know what this is for. I'm good.
I hope I'm good.
Modar don't look too well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure 16's good if I remember right when I run open sea stuff. But a 9 I don't think is. But I could be wrong.
I was like, wait, how does he know what this is? What is it? And I was like, wait.
I was just waiting to see when he was going to have us do it. I knew it was coming now.
Well, indeed, a 9 is not good enough. Modar, the waves rocking up and down, the wakes nearly hitting 10, 15 foot, sometimes even 20. You feel your stomach going up into your throat and then just dropping, sinking down into the bottom of your gut. Each of you look over, seeing Modar look a bit more notably green than his normal blue self.
Staying real close to the edge.
Are you okay, Modar?
Not quite what I expected.
Just tough it out. You'll be okay.
We will see.
With it getting fairly close to midday at this point, wrapping around, you see the shore begin to take its side more on your northeastern and northern, cardinal directions, turning more and more east. The purple hue becoming a bit more noticed for each of you. You begin to see the coast of the Celestial Vale off in the distance. Beyond the clear skies ahead, you see a dark, looming storm miles off in the distance.
Behind the celestial veil?
Yes, like hundreds of miles. You just see like the darkening sky off in the distance. It's quite easy to see with how calm it is here.
I just go along with the boat ride.
Well, hopefully that stays way over there.
Yeah, the druids would be kind of useful now.
Bit more time passes. The sky is still remaining nice and calm. Unfortunately, Modar, with your with how you're feeling with the ship going up and down with the wakes, even if you have a brief moment where you're trying to read, you quickly have to go back to the rail and, well, spew. Unable to
Understandable.
hold it in.
Understandable.
With this, I will leave it to each of you with what you would like to do.
Mostly just gonna hang out and stay pretty low key. I'm not gonna try and get into anything on the boat.
What kind of rooms does the ship have? Is there? Okay, I'm not on mute. Is there anywhere that the crew likes to hang out? I would just kind of like to explore the ship under deck, and yeah, I guess you know what? I'll just explore.
Well, even with it being a decent-sized ship, it's not hard to make your way about within a couple of hours. You see most of the crew, while not on deck, tending to the ship, making sure all the sails are maintained, the ropes taut, and following the captain's orders that she calls out in order for the directions to be met. The crew below deck is a bit more relaxed. You'll note that most of them are sleeping since it's not their shift to work. The ones that are awake, you see a few in the galley enjoying a little bit of a meal. And also couples just hanging out near the far end, seeming to have a bit of a chat over a tankard of ale.
What does it look like does it look like they're transporting anything on the ship, or are they just here to take us out?
The size of the ship definitely will show that there is quite a bit of room. The supplies just seem to be a standard amount of food, water, and ale if those who wish to partake have at least the option to. But it definitely seems that most of the supplies are just meant for a couple weeks journey, if that. But no trade goods.
Got it. All right. I would just like to in that case I would just like to shoot the shit with some of the crew members, see if they have any interesting stories.
Okay. Just double checking. It's a thieves' cant, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Thieves can.
I wasn't sure. I was like, I don't feel like that's the name of it, but I'm pretty sure that is. It's on the fence, so I figured I'd just ask. But after like shooting the ship for a little bit, you're able to pick up a couple of key indicators of thieves' cant.
Oh, is there anyone in particular?
The individual that you're speaking with, or the couple that you're speaking with, one is an orc named Orgoth. The other is a dwarf who gives the name Mary.
And they're both throwing down some thieves' cantish lines.
Yes, indeed.
Hey, you two. How long you been with the crew?
Orgoth's been here. Bedtime. Alrighty. The orc's been here for about a month. Just a little bit more shy of me.
A month. Wow, you're relatively new then. The rest of the crew is so very dreadfully boring. You must have some interesting stories.
Give a bit of a shrug. Depends what you call interesting.
Well, my mother was a succubus, and I was born in the abyss. So, if that kind of helps set the line for anything.
I think you set the bar a little too high, my friend. Your stories seem that it will precede anything that we've done.
Oh no, it's pretty normal family issues. You know, brothers trying to kill you, you trying to kill them back. You know, I would think that is relatively normal.
They'll both look at each other, then look back at you. Shake their heads. No, definitely not.
No interesting family quarrels?
Not of that nature.
Dreadfully boring.
Zanashi, Togo, Modar? Any of you have anything specific, or... I mean, Modar, I definitely feel like your options are limited, but...
Modar is just trying to get through it right now.
I'm just keeping an eye on Modar.
Actually, Modar is going to he's got an idea. He is going to find some place to sit down. He is going to snap his fingers, call his owl back, and then just look at him and communicate to him, tell him to just search the area. And once he does that, he's going to close his eyes and look through the owl's eyes and put himself in that position off of the boat.
Okay. Well, the best place that you find to sit is going to be a bit below deck, so this way not having to see the horizon rise and fall, and it gives your mind a little bit more, puts your mind a little bit more at ease, kind of calming yourself from the sight. As you close your eyes, you feel like this slight uphurl begin to come up. You open your eyes, you're looking through your owl. You note a little bit of spit that comes out of the owl. But soon enough, your stomach feels fairly calm. Seeing everything from the owl's eyes, it puts you even more at ease.
Yeah, he's gonna stay like this for a while, and just communicate to the owl to keep kind of circling the ship and stay within the whatever the distance is, kind of circling around.
All right. Well, with Zanashi keeping an eye on you, Modar, with you being below deck, Togo, I believe you're the only one still on deck.
I would mostly just hang out during the course of the day, but not getting to too much. Relax. I get the feeling we're about to go into some deep shit, and I'm not. I'm laying out. I maybe pick on my loot a little bit, but
Going into
Just trying to have
deep
some-
shit. We don't even have a shovel.
yeah. Actually, I might. Let me check my bag. Shovel.
Might be under shit shovel.
If you keep it
Still be fairly
alphabetically.
close, and yeah, from the alphabetical.
Nope, don't see it. Don't see it.
That's really unfortunate.
But nah, I may play pick a few notes on the deck for a little bit and just relax, but not get into anything.
All right. Well, at this point then, about an hour goes by. Lus, can you give me a perception check? Modar, can you give me a perception check? And I'm gonna roll this for you, Togo. Okay,
Am I rolling a perception check for me or for the owl?
for the owl. Togo, you will be up on deck, just kind of strumming along, making sure everyone's spirits are kept up. So, can you give me a perception check? And then I will make one for Alicia.
Perception?
Perception, yes.
Oof.
Is it hearing or sight related?
Sight.
All right, cool. I have advantage.
I know it doesn't state it, but personally, well, it really didn't matter. But 2 6s. But I would almost argue that no advantage due to it being at day, and it's an owl.
I promise you, owls can see perfectly well during the day. They usually hunt
I
at
don't
night.
think the
'cause nothing else
advantage
can
mattered
see.
here very much, though.
No, I know. Like I said, it didn't matter, but that's what I was thinking. But with that in mind, Usk, from your point of view, being up in like the crow's nest where you set up your hammock, you hear this individual that you've kind of just deemed, well, as you put it, boring, go, "Psst, hey, you see that?" And then points off to the east. This is when it appears, for a brief moment, as your eyes focus on it, Lusk, that a dark cloud is moving very, very quickly towards the ship. Then, as your eyes adjust to it, you notice that this is hundreds of crows, ravens, some type of dark-colored bird, but in a numerous amount heading roughly your way.
Is there anything larger, any larger areas of shadow behind them, perhaps driving them?
With the vast number, you're unable to tell. You just see basically this swarm of dark-colored birds.
Which direction are they coming from?
The east.
I'll shout out, "Bird swarm from the east!" And
What?
I'll fly down to Sanser if I can see her.
It's, she's at the helm of the ship, almost not quite directly below you, but fairly close.
Coming down to her, is that normal for this time of year?
What
I
the-
haven't been here long.
What the fuck do you think? Does that look normal to you?
Well, it's not boring.
Well, from what the crew's been chattering about, you've been looking for a bit of excitement. It looks like it might have come a tad early. Each of you, hearing the call out from this, Modar, of course, you and Zanashi below deck, you obviously, Modar, spotting it, now with the owl, once everything's kind of pointed out and it gets a little bit closer in your direction. Zanashi, you hearing the call-outs from below deck.
Togo, you hear that?
What? Oh, I'll look over and notice all the commotion and put my loot away and
We need to get up top.
finger my crossbow. Yeah, yeah, let's head up there.
As each of you make your way up and you're seeing this swarm of dark-colored birds making its way towards you, it just grows larger and larger the closer it gets. It could be anywhere from a half a mile to a mile away. It's hard to tell. Seems to almost continue to grow in size.
Once Modar sees that, he will snap out of his owl's vision and go up on deck as well.
I'm gonna get up on deck and try and find a spot not near the railing with my back towards something. Looking at the... I have a bad feeling about a bunch of birds coming and flying at us, and I am small and can be carried away.
Oh no.
Don't worry, Togo. They look to be small birds so far.
Have you
I
seen
like-
me? That doesn't matter.
I liked how you strategically added so far at the end. It's like, I could be wrong later.
He's hedging his bets. I'm assuming the crew is
Here,
running around like crazy.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I didn't want to interrupt, but you'll hear Sanser give out a call as each of you are discussing whatever in the hell this may be. Put the sails to half mast. We're going to need to make a sharp turn back towards the north to avoid it. Seems that we're directly in its path. And then you see the crew scrambling about, untying a few knots here and there. Then, with the speed that this swarm of birds are making its way towards you, you'll then hear a follow-up shout-out. All hands on deck, even you lazy asses that are below sleeping, wake them up and get them up here now. Soon, the
I'll,
whole deck finds itself nearly packed.
Who you calling lazy?
The ones that are supposed to be helping me run this damn boat.
Zanashi, just let them do what we paid them to do.
How far away is what I see when I get up there?
Roughly a half a mile, maybe a little bit more away. As it gets closer, continually growing in size, so it's a little hard to tell.
I use message and point over at Modar and say, I don't know how much I would invest in this. Let's let the crew do what we're paying them for.
So how long do we got? Do I think?
Couple minutes, at most. They seem to be closing in fairly quickly.
I want to watch the water and the air behind that flock carefully.
Okay. At this point, can each of you give me one more perception check? Modar, at this point, yours will be at disadvantage. better than your advantage roll.
My
Maybe I should give you
disadvantage roll.
disadvantage more often.
So my disadvantage is the best roll I've had all day.
Yeah, I'll just give you disadvantage all the time. Seems to be lucky. So, Togo. Keeping an eye out as the swarm gets closer and closer, you each begin hearing the flaps of the wings growing more and more violent as it grows closer and closer. Togo, you'll notice that the swarm of birds seems to almost be parting as it makes its way to the ship. One group heading towards the coast, and the other group wrapping down south, a little bit farther out to sea.
So they're splitting and coming from. One is going up in, or like closer to shore between, or going between us and the shore, and another is going out to sea.
Correct. As well as when they begin to split, you see this huge shadow following behind. That huge shadow begins to split into 2 and 4, then lose sight
Do I see
behind the wake.
Sandsor around me?
You see her still at the helm, pulling the ship a little bit more to the northeastern direction.
Still trying to see anything more about the big shadow behind it. I'll walk over and say, I think there's something bigger behind it.
What
There's
the
something-
fuck could be behind it?
I have no idea, but I thought I saw something split behind the.
You
I
can
don't
be
know.
certain it's not
Counted
your
4.
mom.
Counted 4.
Get those ballistas loaded! We might need them! And a few of the crew hands begin making their way to the ballistas, getting them loaded. At this point, the swarm splitting in its complete 2 group, leaving the center of what was the center mass of the swarm now exposed. Each of you see 4 griffins following fairly closely behind the flock of birds.
Well, everybody, let's get ready. I have my axe out and ready.
Okay.
So I guess I walk up near Sandsor, so I'd be up there somewhere.
I don't see
Indeed.
myself on the map.
I didn't put you on the map. Have you
Okay.
add your token to the boat? With you being up in the crow's nest, you'll be at the center mass, which is going to be roughly this location.
Is that all of us over there?
Each of you will be on the deck of the ship, as you had stated, yes. And, of course, go ahead and begin to roll me initiative as you spot the griffins.
Okay, I wouldn't have been at the back if I'd known they were coming from the front. At least up there.
Well, not to mention that they're still a little bit far away, but the swarm coming from the east, I do imagine most of you being, unless specifically stated, as Togo was near Sandsor, for example, at least towards the front, or at least halfway back, if at most.
You know, Modar's just work out of the way wherever you think is, wherever he thinks he's out of the way.
Okay, so my question real quick is who would like to take control of Valencia's character sheet?
I don't know enough about the character. What class is she?
Way of the Mercy Monk.
All right. UA or Tasha's?
I do believe Tasha's, but I will be able to give you the character sheet.
If I do know how to run Way of Mercy Monk. If no one else here volunteers, that is.
The way I'm rolling today, I do not want to take anybody's character sheet.
Can
I mean,
he?
if you want to really RP Alencia in a fight, run straight into the thick of it and then die.
She died.
Can he access her D&D Beyond sheet?
I was gonna give him the link to it, but I mean he should be able to. If not, then I can
Okay.
at least give him the link.
Okay, because if he can't access the sheet itself to roll from it, then I'll do it.
Well, it's up to you guys. I'll give you guys just a moment to think about it, but I'm just gonna turn off the lizard's sun lamps. Yes, it's a little late for him. I'll give you guys
Okay.
at least 2 minutes, or not even, maybe a minute to think about it.
Nope, I'll take it.
Yeah, as long as he can access it, I ain't gonna argue. That's less work for me.
Yeah, I've never played a monk, so
I having a pistol.
What's that?
All right,
I've
what's the
played-
choice?
I've played a monk.
Lusk.
I'll take it.
Yes.
I'll take it. Does Alencia have roll 20 sheet, or is it
D&D
only-
Beyond.
Okay.
I
In that
think
case,
Kyle's gonna send you a link to it. I believe he said as soon as he gets back.
okay.
Yeah, I'm back. So is it going to
Yep.
us?
hmm
And then just make sure you select Lincia's token and then roll the initiative. Which, I mean, is a very high chance that it'll be the top one.
So I don't know how to. I am on the character sheet, but I've never rolled from non-roll 20.
You don't have
Beyond
the
20.
extension, do you?
If you don't have the extension, just let Clue do it.
Okay, I don't.
Versus me having to like toggle back and forth between the D&D Beyond window.
I've
Maybe a little
attempted the
easier.
extension. It just never works for me. So, yeah, I don't have it.
I'll help you out with it one day. But Clue, when you have it up, go ahead and just roll the initiative for me.
Okay.
I'll go mad.
I'm not gonna be able to select the token. It's not letting me do that. I'll just roll initiative though. Look at that. Nat
Like
20.
you said, at the top of the initiative order.
You should be able to move it now. You can see.
Yeah, I got it now.
I'm surprised. Only plus
Okay.
only 16 decks.
All right. Well, then, at the top of the turn order for round 1 is Alencia. So go ahead, Zanashi. Or go ahead, Zanashi.
The monks usually have more movement. He's probably got, what, 40 foot of movement? Do you know right off without me looking it up? Oh, he's got
40.
45.
I was gonna say
45.
it's either 40 or 45.
Okay. So move all the way up there. And I don't think he's got range stuff.
Crossbow. Plus
He
1
does.
crossbow. I
He
think.
does have a crossbow. Yeah. Yeah, I guess he'll target that closest one with his crossbow.
So, great hit, but just to confirm, this one being that just a little bit
Mhm.
closer, correct?
Yep.
Perfect. So, taking aim, after sprinting up to the bow of the ship, placing her elbows down on the ballista as it turns, taking aim, shooting, hitting the griffin directly in the neck. You can see it give a little bit of like a stubble. The wings seem to lock up just a tad bit as it falls a couple of feet out of altitude before flapping its wings and regaining its speed.
I just noticed something. Actually, that roll should have been a disadvantage.
From the distance?
Yeah, because it's
Oh, it's a
beyond
hand
30.
crossbow. Yeah. Alright, go ahead and make it a disadvantage. Thanks for the catch. I thought it was a light crossbow.
I was just looking at the next one, so no damage.
One end of the spectrum to the other.
Yeah, I was looking at seeing 30 and 120. I was like, 30. And I started counting the tiles. I was like, oh shit, that damn thing's like 35, 40 foot away.
So then I guess the shot's so bad from with it being a disadvantage that you have this moment where you feel that you just made this amazing shot, but then you snap back into reality noticing that the bolt's sailing wide.
Wait, I thought it was. Oh, is it a hand bow?
It's a hand crossbow.
Oh. That makes sense.
Yeah, not particularly great at a little bit of a distance. But other than that, that's going to end his turn. Or her turn.
Alright, well then that pulls us to Lusk.
All right. I'm going to fly. I'm going to fly over here. And I will use Vicious Mockery. Aye, you dumb birds, come for us. I need a Wisdom save.
On the same one that was targeted before?
Preferably, yeah.
Okay. Gotta ask. Well, a returned favor, I guess. Wisdom save is a natural 1.
Nice. It has disadvantage on its next attack. And I will roll 2d4s of damage. Not much. And then I'm going to... So I'm imagining there's still a sail where I'm at. I'm 20 feet up in the air, preferably. I would like to grab the mast and hide behind the sail. So I'll use my cunning action to hide.
Okay. Nice stealth roll.
Okay. That's it. That's my turn. I'm gonna hold. I couldn't quite close the distance. Not safely, at least.
This one makes its way here. And will attempt to grapple one of the crewmates. So swooping down with this swiftness, you see it pin its wings back to its body as it dives down 20, 40 feet, outstretches the talons, piercing right into the shoulders of the crewmates that sit alongside the ballista, and flaps its wings in attempt to begin to pull away. Togo.
Okay, so that one, it looks like it's picking the guy up, trying to drag him away.
Indeed. You can hear the screams of pain.
How far of a drop is it from me, or from in front of Sanzor to the deck there?
Just about 5 foot.
Okay. I'm going to take a shot at the griffin that is holding the guy with my crossbow.
Regular crossbow.
Yes, regular crossbow. Range 60 or 80. 18.
Believe an 18 is a hit. But let me double check.
I'll roll damage just
Oh,
in
yeah,
case.
it's a hit. I was pretty sure, but well, it's a good. Excuse me. It's a good strike and a decent amount of piercing damage.
Way to go, Togo.
And then I think that'll be it.
This one is about 10 foot above the deck, but will soar over the first and then swoop a little bit down and attempt, or I guess I should just say, in attempts to get closer to the bluish colored orc. This is when we'll hear from the back, "We ain't got a shot, Captain! I'd just wait, they'll be passing us soon!" And the front one, with the individual being grasped and pulled away from the ballista, a slightly other bluish orc makes their way up. The ballista turns, firing to the one on the northwestern side. That also will give the other guy an opposed athletics check. See, slashes, attempts to pull his way and pry himself free from the talons. He is unsuccessful in doing so. You can see Lusk from your advantage point as gives a call out from Alencia, her attempting in a little bit to assist the individual, not able to get a firm grasp just yet. The talons sinking in farther into the shoulders. Ballista will shoot. That is a hit. And you see a pretty good-sized bolt strike the one griffin to the northwest. This one you'll see it just slash down with its talon, breaking the large bolt from the shaft nearly in half as it swoops down in attempt to grab this orc. The orc able to grasp and the half of the bolt left from the ballista in order to keep the griffin at bay. The talons outstretching, but unable to find purchase against the orc's skin. Zanashi.
Attacking this one here. Do I have advantage at all? Or is it not good enough? I am going bonus action rage on my way across the deck, by the way.
There you go. Those guys weren't on a grid, so I just let them snap to what they were closest to. Yes, you will have advantage. 24. Didn't even need it.
Must be some low rolls. Fuck. Wait a minute. I don't have that feature on this character, I don't think.
And just to make sure, you did say you were raging, right?
Correct.
Okay. Well, your muscles begin to bulge. You grab the elf mutilator, swing your great axe forward, striking the griffin in its hindquarters and slashing deeply into its skin. Pulling the axe out, connecting again, hitting the same wound. You see the wound grow larger. You hear it give out a bit of a squawk as the wings flap violently in reaction to your strike.
And that's going to be my turn. And as I end my turn, don't be afraid of them. Fight. Make something up.
I'll move it down just a bit. There we go. As you see this one wrap around the southern side of the ship there, Togo, it begins to swoop down. It seems to be looking directly at you. Modar. From your point, this one's about 15 foot in the air. Given the incline of the little area that Togo's sitting on or standing at, and then also the incline from just the height of the creature.
All right, so I can see that creature from my
Correct.
point, and it looks like it's going towards Togo.
It looks like it's going for somebody up there. You're unsure of exactly who, but from Togo's point of view, the eyes seem to be locked on him.
All right, but I know Togo's up there, right?
Fairly safe to say, yeah.
All right, I am going to cast going to go with Mind Spike at it.
Interesting.
Well, that is a damn good damage roll. That's one off from Max.
It's 3. What is it? 3d8.
Mm-hmm. You had an 8, 7, and an 8. The wisdom save is a 5. So it fails. Okay. Anything else, Modar?
I am going to move back here. Move back just a little bit. I guess snap into it. Yeah. And that should be it.
Perfect. Round 2 brings us back to Alencia.
Okay, I guess Celency would probably use her short sword. I'm guessing,
Probably the
or quarterstaff.
I would say the sword. She would try it first to see if the poison worked.
Yeah, I feel like as long as the poison works, that's usually what she defaults to, but if she feels like it's not, then goes to the quarterstaff.
Okay, I don't know why I rolled at advantage, but 24 would have hit. 10 piercing.
Okay. That'll do some decent damage. Sinking into it with the blade. Go ahead and roll the poison damage for me.
I'm looking for that.
I thought it all rolled at once. I think it's a separate item.
I only see the damn short sword there. They don't say anything about it having poison.
That may be something on his. He may not have added it to that.
You might have
shield.
custom done it to the D&D Beyond, or not the D&D
Yeah.
Beyond, but the Roll21. Let me check. There we go. I'll let you view this one as well.
I was on mute. It says you can spend a key point once per turn to deal necrotic damage, but it's only once per turn. Also, I believe this is the UA or I believe this is the. Never mind. This is the UA version. My bad.
Okay.
Also, the poison damage is a weapon that she has.
Mm-hmm. You should have the journal in your or the sheet in your journal now, Clue.
Okay.
And you should be able to roll from it. If not, and it becomes too much of an issue, I'll just do it. But I'll let you guys make the call of what she does. Yes, I just don't want to say like this is what makes more sense for me, and then it be like a pivotal decision or whatever.
Well, after doing that, she will use a key point to make 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action.
Got it. And I just added the 12 from the poison to the 10 that you rolled, by the way. So it was a total of 22 points of damage. The 21 will connect as well. Thrusting forward, connecting with a nice uppercut into the gut of the griffin. Finding your way past the talons and pulling back and striking yet again.
And Zanashi looks over her shoulder back at Alencia. Alencia, just knock it out. Don't kill it. But at that point, Alencia is out of action economy, so Alencia will end her turn.
All right, brings us to Lusk.
All right. So I will.
Peek out for your hidey spot.
I will dive off of the sail, and 1 second. I need to check my distance. I may have to dash to make this work, but yeah, I will flying directly over the to get on the other side of the griffin from Zanachi. Darting out as fast as my wings will let me. I will throw down a booming blade.
Don't kill it, Lusk.
Now, just double checking, how far is your flight speed? Because you will need to go, pretty much like around it or through the spaces.
40.
Yeah, you'd have enough space. It was only 25 to get there. Just double checking. I wasn't sure if it was 35 or 40.
All right. And I am flanking. So I do have advantage, right?
Correct.
Also, he didn't see me, but all right, here we go. All right.
Attack will hit.
All right.
Minimum damage on the sneak.
So the
2 1s. Oh man.
Yep. 21 damage, but that is with a lot of minimum.
It is a lot of minimum, but still good amount of damage.
I will. How much move speed do I have left?
So it would have been 20 into 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, so about 5 feet.
All right, I will dash. And fly back. I will fly back here, coming adjacent to Togo. I do not take attacks of opportunity.
Yep. Is that it for your turn?
Yep.
Perfect. This one, still holding the grapple successfully, flap its wings and begin to move away a bit slowly.
Which one is that?
The one above Valencia.
Alicia will take an opportunity attack as it tries to move away,
All
but
right.
she will do an unarmed strike. She's going to listen to
You're
Zanashi.
gonna make her listen.
She does tend to listen to me, though, when I'm adamant about something.
Okay, that'll hit.
Not bad on the damage.
Ah, yes. Instead of killing it, we're gonna knock it unconscious into the water for it to drown.
But
The
as
main way.
you strike into it, you hear it give a bit of a squall. It's still hanging on, flapping its wings, and beginning to make a bit of distance.
Wait, that was a reaction, or opportunity attack, so she can't do anything else, I don't believe. One thing I have found out, I can't mark the key points used for Valencia.
Oh, it disappears off the map?
Yes, it will be off the map with its speed. It can get quite far, especially when escaping with a bit of prey and a bit of a hurry as well.
Yeah, they probably go like 120 or 240 per round or some crap.
Not that much, but I mean it's pretty up there. But with that in mind, as that one begins to make its way away, you will each hear the screams kind of just dissipate as the distance grows. Togo, it's your turn.
Is it within 320 feet of me?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna move up to the railing to get the best shot I can and take a shot with my crossbow at disadvantage.
All right. I mean, the disadvantage, pretty much saving it. The distance is just too far. You see the bolt just fall shy.
Should have taunted it.
Can't taunt you that far.
Do you actually have taunt?
Yeah, it's called Vicious Mockery.
Oh, okay.
That'll be it. I'm not gonna do anything. That'll be the end of my turn.
All right, at this point, can each of you roll me a perception check?
Wow. All right, I'm here now.
Well, even during the heat of battle, everybody, except for Alincia, well, actually, Alincia's wouldn't be at disadvantage.
Why does it say on its sheet it shows a disadvantage beside perception?
Oh, never mind. She's a... No, we haven't been counting that. Never mind. Don't worry about it. So each of you spotting this quite easily, you see a fairly large sized creature beginning to make its way from the eastern direction as well. Togo, Lusk, and Zanashi. Each of you would note, while this one is roughly about the same size, it is a bit different in appearance. The wings scaled, and there appears to be a bit of a red hint to them.
Be still,
Is
my
it-
heart.
Zanashi starts in the middle of combat, just kind of gives a little, little bit of a dance in a way, like excited, while still raging.
I don't think you're allowed to be excited while you're raging. It's against the rules.
Is this similar to anything I've seen before? Potentially in a cave? A death cave in the back left?
It looks pretty similar.
All
and
right.
it's making its way in quite quickly. You hear the griffins beginning to squall a bit more. They seem to be a little bit more flustered with this creature approaching. Quickly trying to grab this blue orc and doing so successfully, pinching the talons into its shoulders and then flying away. The others will grab, and the human off to his left nearly falls overboard before being secured by another crewmate as his grasp slips from the orc. Fuck! You guys better do something quick, I'm gonna be losing too many crew! Cinzer continuing to try to steal the ship. You then, Togo, see her begin to put up her hands in a bit of fear, but you see behind the palms, as they're a bit extended, hidden from sight of the griffin, a couple of blades. This one will attempt to, you know what? It's actually going to kick back after you beat the shit out of it, Zanashi, and attempt to pierce its talons into you and grapple you. So go ahead and give me an athletics check. Yours will be at advantage, of course, because you're raging. DC's a little high, but I think you can do it.
Ooh.
Ooh, Zanashi.
No.
You
Never
become
mind.
grappled.
Goodbye, everybody. Good luck without me.
So long, farewell.
Zanashi.
Interrupt. As soon as it moves from its position, the effect of Booming Blade, the whirling magical energy crested upon that griffin explodes for 12 damage.
Yeah, you want to guess how much HP it has?
11.
Fuckyeah.com.
No, that's not a number.
Oh, is it 13?
Well, as
I
it
take that as
moves,
a no.
it's you see like the energy just kind of illuminate a bit. It lets out a bit of a caw as it falls down in the water, pulling Zanashi with it.
Chef's kiss.
So Zanashi's in the water.
And we'll do it like that just for like the boat being in motion. Just a little bit. But at this point, with it being with you being grappled, Zanashi, you find yourself just a bit submerged. The griffin, the wings seem to be keeping it afloat, perhaps until they get waterlogged.
It doesn't let go of me after
They're
it
just
dies.
like they're piercing into you, so it's just kind of like held in that position.
Well, I'm gonna try to get his freaking claws out of me.
Well, it's perfect timing because it is your turn.
I
And
know.
it will be very, very easy to do so, just requiring a little bit of time. But while you're in the water doing this, can you give me an athletics check? Just a regular one of the claws and being kind of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Submerged, kind of covered up from the griffin's wings, giving you disadvantage, but your rage giving you advantage. All right. Well, that proficiency, that modifier, carrying you over the set DC, pull the talons out, and the main thing seeming to weigh you down is, I mean, your weapon. You're barely keeping your head above water.
I reach out with my other hand and try to grab a hold of something on the boat.
Okay, just another, this will use up your action. Of course, but go ahead and grab out for the boat. You successfully grab onto the boat.
Alright, can I actually use my movement to climb?
You will be at half movement. You'll get about a little bit more than halfway up the boat.
Okay. That's what I'll do. And end my turn.
Perfect. You'll note that it is a bit slippery, but you're able to like grasp on and use just a little bit of the cracks and the little bit of like the cargo net that's along the side as well to just enough to hold on.
Okay.
So this one, Sanser at the ready, and it being, well, her being a bit more of a, tasty morsel size, the griffin will go for her, and as it does, she'll lunge out with the blades that she had concealed, which will strike into the griffin. And she finds herself still unable to hold the grasp. But you hear a caw out from the griffin, knowing that the blade sunk in. Lusk, you see a bit of the blood running down from its legs. The creature then, with the same momentum, begins to carry Captain Sanser away.
May I make an attack of opportunity?
If you wish.
All right. I don't think I couldn't tell if I was flanking it from this guy right here or not. Do I have advantage?
No, he's too far away.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, just a straight shot.
19 hits.
All right. So I remove Booming Blade. I keep Sneak Attack. Oops. Sorry.
No.
That's an attack
Oh.
roll.
Yep, there we go. 16 total.
Got it. Yes, Zanashi.
Yeah, FYI, I do have 55 movement speed right at the moment. Just
Oh, is it not
thought
updated?
Well, when I'm in rage, I get an extra 15.
Oh.
So I got 40 without rage, and I got 55 when I got rage on.
This is a fast route.
Isn't it as long as you're heading towards an enemy?
Oh, that just
I
doesn't
mean,
sound like.
I am heading towards a fucking enemy. I'm heading towards that other damn bird on the deck. But let me read it for you.
I mean, I'll give you that. I would say you're more so, probably your primary concern is getting up onto the ship.
While you are raging and aren't wearing heavy armor, your walking speed increases by 15 feet.
Cool.
That's sick.
As it
Let's-
flies by, would I be able to get an opportunity attack, or is
Of
it too high
course.
up? Wonderful.
Oh, did he fly by me? Was I up at the top yet?
That's
No, you're
what
still
I
on the
figured you were
side of the
asking.
ship.
I take it that'll hit.
25, yes.
So that's 13.
It's a good chunk of damage. But
And that's
still
cold
continuing
damage
to
for
go,
the +3. I don't know if that changes anything.
Unfortunately not. But thank you for pointing it out, because it doesn't clarify that from hovering over it. And then, with that one still having a tad bit of health, continuing to carry Captain Sanser away.
How far away is it getting?
It is not as far away as the one that you had taken the previous shot of at, but it is around 100 feet from a rough estimate.
All right. So it's about 100 feet away from me.
Roughly, yes.
All right. I'm just because I've got 120 feet.
I whisper up to Togo, let him go. We commandeer his ship with his crew.
All right. Yeah. As long as it's within 120 feet of me right now, I'm going to try and get as close as I can and take a shot with Fireball at the one that's holding the captain.
All right.
Or Firebolt. Sorry, Firebolt,
I was
not
about to say
Fireball.
firebolt or fireball.
Firebolt.
I wasn't going to argue it. I was going to let it ride.
Firebolt. Sorry, I
Go ahead.
misspoke
Kill
there.
the captain in front of the whole crew.
I am the captain now.
Dude, that'd have been hilarious.
Vote our turds. Well, whether or
What?
not you wanted to hit, or perhaps you're more so just trying to purposely miss, the shot just almost looks like you're aiming into the water.
What about he almost hits the captain instead?
No one wanted to do random fumbles like that because they felt like it was too unfair. Especially like for an example, if you rolled a nat 1, and like just say the current position for you, Zanashi, like it was on land, you rolled a nat 1 and hit Togo, you might just chop Togo's head off.
Yeah,
People,
you could
people tended
decapitate
not
me.
to like that in the test runs.
All right, that's all I've got.
All right, well, that moves us to round 3 with Alencia. Clue, that's you, buddy.
Oh shit, my bad. Well, at this point, I mean, how far away is it? I guess he'll roll disadvantage with his little hand crossbow.
I feel like Alencia would hold her attack, waiting for it to get there to protect the people in front of her, to try and draw attention to herself. Knowing Alencia.
Well, that's assuming that it lands right here, though.
Oh, that's fair.
She
So-
either do that or try to do whatever she could to save that captain.
There's a lot of people not launching each other off of ballistas at enemies going on around here.
Says the guy with wings.
Uh huh.
Uh-huh.
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 I just don't know what Alencia couldn't do anything
Can
to
she-
save that damn captain.
Can she fire that ballista?
I mean, I guess she could go ahead and try to fire that ballista and save the
Ballistas
captain.
take, I believe it's 3 rounds to reload.
Okay, well is it loaded right now or not?
No, it is not.
No, they shot
Okay.
it at the first bird.
All
They
right.
shot it,
She's just going hand crossbow.
It's not that it takes that many rounds to reload. Usually, it requires a certain number of actions to be reloaded.
All right, so 17.
Like if you have a full crew doing it, it can be like shot every turn.
Yes, unfortunately, when it was shot, one of the operators was carried away. The one assisting is, doing his best.
That seems relevant, yeah. Stressful situation.
Well, the 17 at disadvantage is I believe that's a hit. Indeed it is.
First blood.
At this point, can you give me a perception check with Valencia? Quite easy to notice the bolt sinking in. A nice hit. Then, as Valencia gives a little bit of a smirk, you see two of the heads turn, looking directly in her direction.
As we get her killed,
One seems to be focused on the griffins in the distance. Lusk, it's your turn.
How far away from me is the griffin that carried off Sanser?
100 feet. Well, from you, if you get to the railing, roughly 100 feet, but at the moment, a little bit farther.
Can you carry me?
I think I hear those cogwheels turning. I'm trying to think of a plan.
Within 80 is all I need to be.
Yeah, but if I carry you out there, I won't be able to carry both of you back. It's a one-way trip.
Don't worry about me. Go get her. Carry me out 20 feet.
Yeah, I kind of thought you guys were going to run with Zanashi's idea of commandeering the ship.
I am going to do a full. I'm going to do a full dash, double dash, which shoots me out 120 feet, and I will put myself in front of the griffin, off the map.
Okay.
It's a grand total of 120 feet of movement.
Got it. You're about 20 foot ahead.
No. I'm in range. I want to be 5 foot in range of it.
Oh, okay. So you still want to be in range. Got it. I thought you wanted to use the whole 120 and get ahead.
Nope.
Got it.
The goal is to attack of opportunity it.
Okay. Well, with that being pretty much all of your action economy and your movement, I believe it moves us to Togo.
I'm seeing Lusk go off to the side. I'm going to run up to the wheel of the ship and look out, seeing the thing approaching us. I'm going to hold my action. And the action I'm going to hold is I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers at a first level on the creature if it lands on our ship or attacks our ship. Or someone on the ship. Like if it like
I was gonna say you're giving me very two specific options to avoid. But one thing of note to point out, so basically if it makes any detrimental attack to the ship or ally kind of thing.
Yeah.
But as you make your way up with your focus being on the creature coming up from the east, you see the helm of the ship, the wheel, just quickly turning, and it is continuously moving counterclockwise.
Would it be an action to try and grab a hold of it, or a bonus action?
It will be an action.
I'll try and grab a hold of it.
Okay, Go ahead and give me an athletics check.
There we go.
The speed is quite fierce. You place your hands upon it, and it lifts you up off your feet. You spin around 1, 2, 3 times before able to position yourself in a way to catch your footing, and then begin to redirect. Redirect the helm into a clockwise motion.
All right, that'll be my turn then, because that's my action.
Okay. With the attention of the two heads on towards the bow of the ship, you'll see it kind of tilt its left shoulder down, redirecting its direction and moving towards the bow. As it gets within range, can Alencia give me a dexterity saving throw, please? As the fire begins to build up in what is noticed as a red dragon head. The fire building up in the throat and then expelling the flames over the bow of the ship.
Oh, I'm gonna get Alencia killed.
Toasty, toasty. So toasty.
She has a nice damn modifier to it, but damn, I rolled low.
We've had some great
Sorry.
rolls today.
From the fire breath attack, Alencia will take 26 points of damage from the fail.
That's a lot of damage.
I can't click nothing right now.
Okay, and then following up with the flames, seeing 3 of the individuals burnt to a crisp, the ballista beginning to catch fire, little bits of embers falling down onto the deck from the ballista itself as the snaps and cracks of the wood become more and more violent. The chimera lands on the bow, and then that will be it for its turn. Which moves us to Zanashi.
How many feet of movement am I using to get up on the boat?
At this point, since you're not in the bit of like rushing water, creating quite difficult terrain, it will only take about 5 foot of your movement to get up over the railing.
Can I do it diagonally?
From your previous athletics check, you could practically climb this thing upside down, I think.
The reason I ask because I only have 55 foot of movement. It just don't center really well here, does it?
No, on the bow it's a little awkward, but as long as like it's covering like half, I'm cool with it.
Okay. Alright, so I rush forward and I rain down hell on this fucking beast. Ooh, not that great of a roll. Does a 13 hit or miss?
Unfortunately, it's a miss, Zanashi.
I figured it was, but I had to ask.
But maybe Indeed, the upheaval of after missing the downswing, trying to bring down hell, you rise it up instead. 15 will hit. For 12 damage. Okay.
I don't have anything that I can do as a bonus action, so that's going to be my turn.
Okay. Now, all of the heads are focused on those in front of it. All 3 heads looking in your direction as you and Alencia stand side by side, the flames growing a little bit higher along the ballista's end. Modar.
You would do well to just surrender.
So the captain, how far away is the captain now?
She is now, with it being 100, and then roughly 300 feet away.
Yeah, no, that's outside of my.
Wait, how did it move out of my range so quickly?
Oh, sorry, I forgot that you were actually out there. Because I have it removed from the turn order, and I'm not used to having someone with flying. It will take like evasive action on you, using a disengage and swooping down, and then using the rest of its movement to move along.
So it has 200. It has 200 move speed even when encumbered.
I'm giving you a rough estimate, unless you guys want to use like actions to get exact distances. I give you a free estimate from your passive perception.
No, I got it. Okay. All I cared about was whether it was outside of it. It's more it's gone, so I'm focused on something else. I can't do anything with it. I know where it's at, and I will.
Move that
up
one along
here.
with the current.
Yeah.
So it disengaged and moved 200 feet.
No, again, I gave you rough estimates. So from Modar's perspective, it's roughly 200 feet from him.
About how far is it from me?
It would be roughly 140.
So it disengaged and moved 140 feet. Yeah. All right. Modar's gonna throw a firebolt at this thing and see how it reacts.
Hey, natural
Nice
20.
roll.
God, please don't be immune to fire.
It probably is. That's why I rolled a nat 20.
As you see it connect into the red dragon head, the dragon head perks up, looking over in your direction. It seems unaffected. However, Zanashi and Alencia, being a bit closer, you can see the lion and the ram head squinting in pain. I believe that is not the correct crit roll, though. It only gave you 2d10. With the crit, I believe it's supposed to be 4 for your level.
I think that is correct.
I get for a firebolt? I think it's just 2d10.
But from the natural 20, it's an attack roll, so you get to double your damage.
So it should have been 4. Yeah, that which it threw. It rolled 4, right?
I only see
No, it rolled
2d10.
2.
Yeah, I've got 4 d10. I've got a 7, an 8, a 2, and a 3.
Yeah, so it only registered 2 of those. It registered the 3 and the 8, so the other one was a 7 and a...
On my screen, I'm looking at a 3, a 2, an 8, and a 7.
Okay, so an extra 9. I saw it roll 4 dice, but if you hover over the 11 in the chat window, it only says 2d8. So I will put it at 20 damage.
Nice.
Like, it showed up correctly with the visual aspect from the 3D dice, but what was registered mathematically was only the
Gotcha. Yep.
2d8.
Gotcha.
Because from the amount of numbers I saw, I was like, man, that 11 seems really low. Anything else but a good strike with the firebolt.
That is it for Modar.
All right. Well, with us getting into round 3, let's go ahead and just take a small break, and then we will wrap up this bit of combat. Sound good, everybody?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Sound good to me.
Okay, so we will be right back and see everyone in just a few moments. And we're back. So, as we get to the top of round 3, the Griffins have departed. Each with, 3 of the 4, each with prey in its talons, only the one being struck down as it attempted to bring Zanashi away. However, more of a threat seems to have appeared as the Chimera has landed on the bow of the ship. Valencia swings forward with the short sword. If you do the Drow's Malice, I believe it's called, that's the one with poison.
I'm looking
From
for it on
the
this.
character
Yeah.
sheet in Rule 20. I appreciate it. I know it's a pain in the butt. She got like, what, 3 or possibly 4 sheets open. Still a hit.
Okay, there you go.
And as she sinks in with Drow's Malice, dealing a hefty amount of damage, the creature begins to look a bit bloodied at this point. Blood pouring down onto the deck of the ship. Seems to
I
be
guess-
quite angry.
I guess Valencia does have the Roll20 sheet updated too.
Pretty close, at least.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like it.
Does Valencia not have multi-attack at this point?
Valencia's going to do her key point.
But yes,
Bonus.
Valencia does have multi-attack.
Shit. When you use your flurry of blows, you can replace one of the unarmed strikes with the use of this feature without just going to do the unarmed strikes.
But with the short sword, doesn't she get a second attack just because she attacked with the short
Mhm.
sword?
Oh yeah, she does, don't she?
That's,
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like, I'm pretty sure she's got 2 attacks with the short sword.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know.
It's like Clue's playing a character he doesn't normally play.
I know. That's what I was trying to help. That's what I was trying to say. I'm like, wait, I don't think you
These-
have to use
These
anything. for
helpful
that second attack.
reminders are nice.
I feel
It's
like that
been
the
a-
other guy might have survived.
It's been a couple years since I played a monk.
And I don't think you quite made it to level 5 with him.
No, I got turned to stone while I was butt naked.
Oh, well, that sucks. But I guess the statue of David. Second attack with Drow's Malice is a hit as well for another good amount of damage.
And then she'll spend her key point for flurry of blows.
Fortunately, the 9's a miss, but followed up by a crit. What is that other number? Doesn't want to tell me.
It's just 5. What it says.
I think her crit might be broken, so I'll just double the damage.
It was kind of weird how it came out as 5+.
I thought it was just taking a moment to load, but then when I clicked it did the same thing, so I'll just double it. I believe that's all of her attacks. I mean, if you wish to move,
Yep.
always possible.
No. She's not gonna run. She don't run.
This is true.
She'll sit there until she's burnt to a crisp.
Lusk, you're out and about.
Does
still
it-
flying.
As Sanser flew by, did it look like she was still fighting the griffin?
She seemed to be struggling, but with the amount of blood, she definitely seemed being weakened.
I can't catch. What about the griffin? Did the griffin look like it was gonna die?
I mean, it's pretty wounded, but I mean, I guess at this point it's safe to say it looks just as good as the other ones flying away.
Oh, Hmm. It's got to be close to it's got to be close to dead because I hit it and she hit it. It's got and
They're
it's gotta be
all
close.
almost dead.
Yeah, they're all almost dead.
Like
All
really
right.
close to dead.
All right, I'm gonna dash. I'm gonna dash 80 feet and shout a vicious mockery. Why don't you just lay down and die? Wisdom save.
And their wisdom saves aren't very good. Lots of low rolls.
All right.
That is a 7, which I believe is a fail.
5 damage.
I think the minimum you can have is a 8. So yeah.
And as you let out the vicious mockery, being unsure if it heard you or not, you see it just almost dive bomb out of the sky, heading directly towards the ocean surface.
Why don't you just lay down and die and then it does? All right. I smirk. That's my turn.
Okay. You see the other one that is quite a bit farther out away, still going. You can see the silhouette limp in its talons. You look back towards the boat, see one more beginning to curve up towards the north. But also the issue going on the boat. Just for reference there, Lusk. But it does bring us to Togo's turn.
I turn to the guy behind him and say, "You take this," and I'll gesture towards the wheel, and then I will hop over the railing here to there. Next to
You hear
the,
a shout out, Medicoth! Up to the helm!
And I'm assuming I can still see the creature from here, correct?
Correct. All the sails are at half mast, so the visibility from directly down along the masses is, well, half as much or twice as much as you would have had at full mast. But it is notably seen.
I cast Dissonant Whispers at a first level at the creature.
All right, let's see if the wisdom saves get any better.
Wisdom saves.
The wisdom saves have been rolling really poor on for the creatures. But this one is a little bit better, but not much. It is an 8, and that is a fail.
That is a fail. Did it roll twice for some reason? It did. So it's the 8 for the first one, not the 12 for the second, unfortunately. But it is forced to move its full distance away from me.
Indeed. On its reaction, right?
It is... must use its reaction if available, yes.
So I thought, just double checking the movement.
This is gonna be the big dog here on the front of the ship.
Yep.
So we
I'm
are
gonna do
going to be
that
trying
because it
to.
will give it an attack of opportunity, but I just wanted to mark the point of if it gets away.
Yeah, we're going to have the short sword attack from Valencia.
Okay. $18 hits. Nice chunk of damage again.
That short sword.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she
And
almost
then-
died for it, so...
Zanashi's turn.
Okay.
I mean, that's fair.
18 hits.
And I am trying to knock it out.
Alright. 10.
Wouldn't this cancel its wanting to move away? Or would it
Nope.
not?
Still moves away.
I mean,
Not
it's still
like
gonna
you've got
move away
that
as long
off.
as it's alive, unless you have Sentinel.
Of course I don't. That was nice to have on my fighter, though.
It is. It's a really nice thing to have.
I wrecked havoc with that.
That'll be it. That'll be my turn.
Noted.
Thanks a lot.
Well, with this one being as wounded and as scared as it is, it will use its action and just continuously fly away.
Went fairly well, I think.
Why did you do that, Togo?
Why did I do what?
Make it run.
I'm sorry. I thought you would be able to capture whatever you wanted to capture. You should have just taken it out right there. This isn't my fault. This is obviously your fault.
I'm going to attempt to put this fire out, I guess.
I was just about to note, as you guys are having this brief conversation, noting that the fire is, continued to grow just a bit. Zanashi, it's not out of control yet. Can you give me a survival check? I mean, unless you got anything else, but I'm guessing just trying to smother it as best you can.
Is it about a small campfire worth of fire?
Rough size, yes.
I used prestidigitation and snuff it out.
With there still being a slight looming threat, was going to call it in turn order, but with the roll and then also with you having prestidigitation, and I would say with a safe amount of bets to in order to put out the fire won't be so much of the issue. More so as with the distance of, well, I guess the distance not being an issue with Lusk, but with what happened out on the west side of the ship. So we'll leave it in turn order for now, unless you guys basically, state otherwise. Is there a couple of things? The fire, again, not being so much of an issue, but there is still another issue.
And how far out is the Chimera at the moment?
Valencia.
It is roughly, I'm trying to remember, with it being the 50, it's over 200 feet away.
All right, yeah, no, I can't do anything there. No.
How far
I
is
see
it?
the first mate.
Togo.
Yeah.
I'm crawling on the ballista. Fire me towards the bird.
I I ignore that and I look for the first mate.
You see him making his way up the stairs. I'll move his token now for you.
Hold up, I'm on the wrong screen. He's making his way up the stairs. Which one is he? I walk over to him and say, "Let's get that boat out to Captain to Sanzor and get her out of the water. It looks like Lusk took the bird down that carried her off."
All right. We'll pull the ship off to the west right away.
Yes, yes, quickly, go, go, go! Off, my man!
Unfortunately, there's this mysterious force where I'm only allowed to go so far.
Is no one gonna fire me towards the big bird?
The one you're on was on fire and is already shot.
That is a good point.
Hashtag could be worse. He's a barbarian.
I mean, that's fair. It's not going to work.
You live, you die, you live again.
But it would
I
be
don't
really
think that's how that
cool.
works. I think you just die. I don't think there's any of that live again sort of nonsense there.
If I miss, I land in the water.
I I go to continuing to put out small bits of the fire with prestidigitation.
Zanashi, if anything, we need you in the boat to row out to the captain. You can get there faster than anybody else.
I aimed a ballista, and I launched it myself.
Okay. I'll allow it. But I will need two things.
Okay.
I need a, well, this is going to just be a little natural, but I will need a dexterity saving throw from the fire.
I want to let it be known that if I miss and I'm going to the water, I'm going to rage before I get to the water.
We're gonna burn all of your rages before we get to the stupid island.
All right, so with the fire being, put out bit by bit from the prestidigitation, things of that nature, just fast forwarding it a little bit of turn in the turn order while you guys are discussing exactly what to do, getting us into like round 4. The fire just kind of burns and stinges the soles of your feet a little bit. You will take 2 points of damage from the fire. And then go ahead and roll me a d20.
Come on, Nat 20. Oh, shit!
Calling your shot.
Clue's got a switch, so it's not as it's not as
fair.
suspenseful, if you will.
So,
You almost expect it.
Clue just flip the switch and suddenly bam.
Hey. He has the most successful call-outs, but then again, he has the most call-outs.
So
So
That he does.
with that in mind, percentage-wise, he should have the most. Well, that'll do it. No problem with the aim. You hit the latch, you feel the string pull Voltu forward, and you soar through the sky. With the creature not being too far out of range.
And has no idea that a fucking a half-orc's about to
Still
land on it.
flying away as you close the gap, soaring through the sky.
Notice that wording. It's not too far out of range.
Well, with the weapons attack, it has a range of 200, a max of 8. And it's within the 200 range, so good enough.
That makes
God.
sense.
God bless.
Well, then with that, we'll move it, like I said, just a little bit farther in the turn order, yet again, but I will need more checks from you, Zanashi. What are the rest of you doing as Zanashi does this? As you guys are watching your orc friend fly through the sky, launching herself off of a once burning ballista.
They've moved on.
Modar-
Fire's out.
Modar is trying to get the crew to get in the ship and go after their captain. Like grabbing the biggest and strongest orc he figures is probably going to be able to row the fastest, and starting to like tell them what to do, acting like he's in charge at this point.
Well, with no longer of a threat, this will be being done.
Seeing the griffin dive bomb, do I see it fall into the water?
You do.
I dive towards the place where the griffin hit.
Okay, it is, just as stated, a little bit over 100 foot away.
Okay, I
So-
can make it 120.
This will require nearly all of your movement as you get there. You will need well, from your passive perception, you will be able to tell the griffin still in the water, floating, not moving at all, and you don't see any bubbles or Sanser at all.
I go under the water, diving for Sanser.
Okay. At this point, using all of your movement, making your way under the water, you see Sanser in the talons grasped. She is not moving.
I question: are her swords on her?
They are not.
Do I see them floating further down?
At this point, with the little bit of time in between for the rounds, and then when she was there, and mainly you kind of just hovering. I think more so waiting for her to die, so you could steal her swords now than anything. You can give me an active perception check, looking down into the water.
I was waiting for you to come back to me. I wasn't waiting for her to die. I was actively.
I figured just from your previous shenanigans. It was just an assumption. It wasn't like this is definitely happening.
Well, I mean, if time passed between her and hitting the water, like, there was no reticence. I dove straight for her.
Okay, fair enough. You can give me a perception check to look down and see if you can catch a glimpse.
Yeah, this is all happening
while
while they're putting out the fire. I would, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were coming back to me, so I was just waiting patiently.
Fair enough. Unfortunately, you do not see anything.
All right. I grab her.
All right. At that point, from the time past, catching it like you back up to like the point of where everyone else is for the turn order, and then we'll just start going in turn order again, so no confusion arises. Go ahead and make an athletics check if you are trying to pry her free from the talons.
I keep rolling with advantage. It should be normal.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, she seems quite stuck.
All right.
Well, but and like I said, we'll move into the turn order now. So this way, I don't skip over anybody, and again, no confusion. Seems to just make it a little bit more simpler. So at this point, I will move Zanashi way off in BFE, and Alencia. So Alencia just saw Zanashi basically sit upon the ballista, and then hit the latch, and poof, shot herself off.
Zanashi or Alencia just kind of stares in awe with a little bit of jealousy at how glorious it looked. But that Zanashi kind of is stealing her thunder.
Fair. Little biased, but fair, I guess.
Hey, Alencia's not here to play his tune.
Lusk, this will bring us to you. I have him on a GM layer since he's just off the map to not give any confusion to distances. So Lusk, if you're still attempting the same thing, I will need one more athletics check from you, hopefully. You feel like as you're kind of like pulling her like a little bit down, you assume that like the hooks from the talons are obviously pointing up, so you lift her like a little bit up and out, and you get her off of the talons. You see the ocean water just begin to grow in a bit of a red hue.
Can I lift her out of the water?
Yeah, she's a little bit heavy, but nothing that you can't maneuver. It will obviously hinder your speed a little bit, but nothing that you can't handle. In fact, when you get her out of the water, from just your natural strength and how dexterous you are, like being able to hold someone in like a right position, placing your hands in quite vital spots to ease the weight, if you will. She is lighter than some of the cargo you were carrying to the ship.
Oh. By any chance, do I see that one of her swords is stuck in the griffin, or the griffin has anything stuck in it?
You do see one sword stuck into the griffin.
Landing on dragging her body up onto the griffin for a split second is kind of like a makeshift raft. I would like to grab the sword.
Okay, you can easily do so.
And quickly stow it away. I would also I never bought a healer's kit. I would like to try and resuscitate her with a medicine check.
Okay, can be done. I will say the natural DC will be raised a little bit due to the fact that you're wet and you're attempting to perform this on a floating griffin.
Okay. I would prefer to do this by. Does it look like she's actively bleeding?
Yes, indeed.
Could I use Mage Hand to create a third hand that I could use to not balance myself, but to apply pressure and use it to properly wrap her with
Can you use your
wrap
mage
her
hand
with
as
cloth.
a bonus action?
Yes.
Okay, then yes. I will allow that because the medicine check will take your action.
Okay, I figured that. I'll go ahead and make a medicine check. Wow.
The third hand paying off, and the knowledge of your previous years of experience seem to benefit you as well. You stop the bleeding. It does seem to be a bit of a patch job. Even with how successful you are, the bandages are getting wet while you're out in the water, giving them a bit of a lessened effect.
I presume that's gotta be my turn. That's bonus action, free action, move action, and action. So
Yes, I think that that's fair. Which will then move us to Togo.
I'm going to be trying to corral the crew to get us over towards Lusk. Basically, just trying to just keep them going and like, no, stop looking at the dead body. No, that it's flying away. It's done. Just kind of grabbing people and throwing them at jobs.
At this point, I mean, turning a ship of this size is not an easy feat, but you can tell that the bow is making its way there. At this point, growing a little bit of distance from Zanashi after she launched herself out. So, Zanashi, we are going to move to your turn. Specifically because what you have done may or may not make a difference on what this creature does. So, go ahead and give, well, me your idea. I'm assuming you're attempting to grapple the creature, but, don't want to put words in your mouth.
Because you think I'm trying to tame the creature.
No, I definitely don't think you're trying to tame a chimera. Because I imagine you've looked into this a little bit before from previous campaigns. And being a DM yourself, I think as a player, you know that the DC might be out of your range.
Now, as a player,
I mean,
yes.
But with that in mind, I think that Clue's idea was going along the edges of Zanashi. So I think he's more so going for an epic kill, or she is. If I had to put my money on something, that's what I would guess. But I honestly have no idea what you're trying to do.
yeah, I think Zanashi, as much as Zanashi would love to have this as a pet, she realizes it's not a typical beast. There's something definitely different about it. So she is going to go for the kill. She's going to have her axe in one hand, pull back on one of the heads, and just so she could stare it in the eyes as she swings with the other hand.
Well, you're definitely coming up on what would be a normal third eye because it is running away. But you are coming up along its backside.
Oh, I'm still in the air?
Yeah, you're still in the air.
Oh, I'm rolling to hit as soon as I get
Yes. So when
striking
you
range.
get within range from it being an awkward aerial attack,
And I'm screaming, like my battle cry as I get within about 10 foot because I want it to have a chance to look back and see the axe blow.
Witness me.
well, it definitely does look back. You see the ram head look over what you assume its shoulder. But with the aerial attack and it noticing you, I will need your attack roll at disadvantage. With your modifiers, it should not really make a difference. But this is no difference at all. Literally no difference. But as the ram head looks back, you sink in your elf mutilator right into the back of its neck.
And I make sure I do as I hit it, I use that deflection of hitting something solid to swing back around the opposite way as I go by it to land that second blow.
Perfect. Go ahead and make another attack roll at disadvantage.
Oh, they're both rolled, buddy. And they're both hits.
Oh, yes, they are. I guess it was just taking us. I think I looked at the 20s first. I didn't actually even see the first one. But your attack's taking it down. You see, well, I'll let you add any flavor that you want to it.
I mean, that was pretty much it that I was going to hit as I come up on it. I'm swinging right-handed and to making that hit. And as I land into something solid, it's going to kind of give me that little deflection that it kind of kicks me back to my right. And as I spin around in the air, as I'm going by it, I take that blow coming around from the left to swing
Perfect.
up and hit it.
With this aerial display of acrobatics, you sink in and then fall at the same speed with the chimera until splashing down into the ocean water. So, the main thing of seeing what you were doing, because we were kind of going a little bit wonky with the time before just going back into turn order, you were going to end up closing that gap in that time frame. So, like I said, wanting to give you the option.
Okay.
But it will move us to Modar.
All right, Modar is looking for them to pull that boat up, and he's grabbing his medical supplies, and his plan is to jump in the boat with whoever is going to be rowing it to try and go get the captain. Like whoever managed to, you said that somebody jumped out, whoever was the strongest or the whatever. I want that person going out. And
the orcs have moved to the sides in order to start rowing and get moving in a bit faster of a pace, but the lifeboat, if you will, is tugged along the back, the one that you were going to use. So if you wish to make your way there, you can easily. At this point, getting about 100 feet away, them just a little bit out. Let me double check. But just a little bit off of the bow.
And yeah, with that, like, yeah, Modar is, going through his stuff, making sure he does have a couple of medical kits. He's grabbing those and double checking his stuff, doing what he can to waterproof anything before jumping onto the little boat. But yeah, while he's waiting for that.
You can get all of that pretty much prepared, ready to go, while some begin to pull in the little boat in order to secure the captain. Okay. So basically just like waiting for the boat to get up there, which is currently being pulled towards the ship, and will just take about a turn. A few seconds for you to be able to board the ship with a few others. Is Alencia still standing in astonishment?
She
Utter
starts-
astonishment, I think.
If she starts pointing, y'all missed what he just did, or what she just did.
If Modar does see Alencia just standing there, he will holler at her, "Come help!" Like, because he knows she does have some healing ability.
We need to go get Zanashi.
We'll get Zanashi. The captain, Zanashi's still healthy. The captain, we don't know her condition. Zanashi can swim.
Zanashi chose this. She launched herself from the ballista.
Personally, I would assume anybody launching themselves off a ballista is dead. Personally. Like, well, I guess we knew him well. Or her well, sorry.
Cool kill, though.
Sometimes it be like that.
It was nice knowing them, but unfortunately...
I really thought I was going to fail, but I was going to do it anyway.
Your ability to hit nat 20s at opportune moments is peak.
It's pretty sus, if you ask me.
How? Like, this is roll 20 favors him. That's all there is to it.
Just play. Like I said, he calls it a lot, so when it lands, we started to make a joke. Now it's just really carried over from our Wednesday game.
Yeah,
as much as Blue scours for this and that, it wouldn't surprise me if he didn't find some sort of algorithm.
I call this big what the fuck energy.
Well, Alencia makes her way over. Toga, or no, not Toga. I'm sorry. Lusk. Still off the map, so just off of the turn order. But I mean, for your vision, still on my turn order.
Are there any other valuables on her that perhaps could have fallen into the water?
I would say
perhaps a bag of gold.
I would say that you're quite unsure. You didn't really pay too much terrible attention to her attire.
Well, I mean, so I think the sword is enough. Sword for her life. I'll bring her back.
Okay.
So I guess the way that I would prefer to do this is try to hold her as carefully as I can, so I don't tear the stitching, or not the stitching, but the wrappings, or and try to fly her back to the boat.
All right. Well, with the direction that the ship has been turning, moving its way, you're still a bit away. You feel the weight of her, the waterlogged clothing, just kind of weighing her down, adding that little bit of extra weight. You will be at roughly this location, just about 25, 30 foot away from a rough estimate from the bow of the ship.
Okay.
Moving to Togo.
What's the distance on that? 60 feet. What's...
Togo kills Sanser. And looks
Yep.
at Modar, flicks him off. That's what you get!
I'm gonna flag down Lusk and say, bring her over here. And whenever Lusk comes within range, I will cast Cure Wounds on her.
Okay. So holding your action. Zanashi, the first thing I need from you is an athletics check. You're in the water. Your rage will give you advantage for the athletics check, but with the weight of your axe, we'll just raise the DC just a tad bit. Luckily,
Well, I
you're
probably
not...
only got one round of
Yes.
rage.
Because you didn't re-rage as you were, I guess, planning.
Yeah, I was only, if I was going to miss, I was going to rage. So technically, I
Alright.
didn't even rage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Did you just say planning? There was planning involved?
He said that if he misses, he was going to rage. So then that way it was called out ahead of time. But he hit, so...
Well,
if... But the previous one going, he didn't have an issue because he did hit, so he's still raging from just like the timing. But you are able to keep yourself afloat. You find yourself quite a bit of distance away from the ship. The Chimera slowly beginning to sink next to you.
Okay, I will just try to swim back to the ship. I know it may take a while.
It's definitely gonna take a bit. You have quite a bit of distance to cover.
oh wait. I have a meme for this.
You have a meme for everything.
He does have a meme for everything.
It's kind of
You need
entertaining.
a better meme. You need a better meme for me, man, because I didn't take arrows to the face.
I'm a meme machine.
That's why I can't pay attention to chat for Thursday game, because I just get distracted by memes. But Zanashi, swimming back towards the boat, of course, with the boat turning direction, it created a tad bit more of a distance for you. But at the moment, you're still able to keep yourself afloat. But you feel it kind of wearing on you as your rage begins to fade. And then that'll bring us to Modar.
I got a question. Can I still sense where the dead griffin is? Or once it died, I lost that ability?
I do believe that you have its location, unless it until the spell ends or it's on a different plane. Of course, it won't be in like the same location that it is now, with like the current and like the boat moving.
Well, that's
you still have a location on it.
I can sense where it currently is as it's moving in the currents. That's what my question is. Can I sense whether it's sinking or floating or not? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would say I was thinking from your intelligence, you would feel like the distance kind of growing a little bit more gradually than the speed of the ship, so you feel that it is sinking.
All right, yeah, then. All right. Well, never mind. It looks like he's going to get here before we can get the ship in the water. Thank God he's got wings. And I'll start moving towards the bow.
I must say, with the only threat being with Zanashi at the moment.
Oh shoot! Yeah, no, never mind. Yeah, no, sorry, shit. Zanashi. Yeah. Oh damn. Yeah.
Modar
no,
doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
He's
no,
like,
I
let her
forgot.
die.
I forgot Zanashi was still in the water. We'll still go for the water. No, Modar's smart enough to still go for the water.
This
spaced
this is the only thing I really need in order to move us out of combat. Because of the distance and just having to close that gap in between Zanashi and the ship at this point, Sanser being close enough for practically your entire movement there, Lusk. Being able to get her to the ship back, no problem. The only roll, just to sum this up, will be a con save from Zanashi. Yeah, no problem. Even as the waves kind of just batter you in the face, you continuously swim. Your strength and endurance keep you atop and able to swim quite freely until you make your way back to the ship.
I climb back up the ship. Did y'all fucking see that?
See what?
Me fly through the air and kill that big bird, 3-headed bird.
I didn't see anything. I look over at the guy next to me. Did you see anything?
Alencia saw it. She was standing right by me.
My eyes were on the captain there.
Yeah, I didn't see anything. You and Alencia trying to come up with some story about something that happened?
You see Zanashi start to get a little perturbed.
Well, we need to focus.
You
at the
motherfuckers.
We need to
Zanashi,
focus
even
on-
though nobody saw it, the gods did, and with the style, the attack, and everything else needed to bring down that creature, go ahead and mark down inspiration.
Seeing Zanashi come back, I'm presuming at this point I've landed Sanser
Yes,
on the...
Togo, can you cast
for-
your Cure Wounds for me?
Yes, I can.
Seeing Zanashi come back.
Okay.
What is Zanashi doing so far out there?
I lost myself since none of you assholes would and killed the chimera.
Yo. And then I put my hand up in the air for the thickest of high fives.
I would have given you extra experience if Zanashi actually called it a chimera.
I almost did.
I know. I was like, man, I wonder if he actually meant to correct himself.
Oh, I did.
Does she seem to be getting life into her once he casts that spell?
I do return the high five.
Thank you. I appreciate you didn't leave me hanging.
You
I was
can
really scared.
go give me a medicine check.
That's the sickest
Can I
shit I've
assist
ever
with
done.
that?
Yes, you can.
I am proficient with it, so I will assist you.
So you can each roll it, or
advantage.
Modar can have it at advantage.
Roll what? Medicine?
Yeah, but this is for Modar and Togo, or just Modar.
Does,
Roll at advantage.
You want me to roll at advantage? Yeah, I say I'm proficient, so
Yeah, roll at advantage then, and I'll assist you.
I believe in you.
Perhaps I should take up a life upon the sea. Seems this life's for me.
Most individuals would assume Captain Sanser dead. However, you are able to pick up a very, very faint heartbeat.
she's still alive. She's actually alive.
I walk over and I pull out one of my healing potions and pour it down her throat. Stand back. Watch how it's done. I
gonna
think
use-
I have a healing.
Use one of the greater healing potions on the NPC.
I think I
Got
have
it.
one. Yeah.
That I already cast Cure Wounds on.
He already cast Cure Wounds.
Well, if she got a faint heartbeat, she needs to have a great heartbeat.
Okay, got it.
Zanashi logic.
Kyle's like, we'll scratch 50 hit points off that creature on the island.
Or I'll not. What? I mean, go ahead and roll the greater healing potion and just make sure it's removed from the sheet.
What is it for? 2d6 or what is it? I forget.
Greater healing potion. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I want to say it's 44 plus 6.
44 plus 4.
Plus 4.
Yep. The max you can hit is 10 on a healing and 20 on a greater.
And with that, you see a bit more of the color begin to return to her face, especially around her lips, which were a slightly bluish tone.
Welcome back, Sanser.
What? Coughing up a bit of the seawater under her chest. What the hell happened?
Oh, careful there, not too fast. Just stay seated right there. I'm afraid you'll die if you stand up. You kind of got carried off by that griffin.
The last thing I remember before blacking out was stabbing that beast into the leg, right in the thigh.
Well, it kind of enveloped you with the rest of the legs and flew away, and the chimera landed on the front of the boat over there.
Well, then I killed the creature, dove into the water, where I saw you and saved you.
Yeah, Lusk flew after you here and chased the creature down and dragged you back.
I didn't think you'd make it.
You just see her sway her head, looking towards you, Lusk. Her mouth moves. However, no words escape as each of you see her eyelids close and she falls asleep.
Look over at the nearest guy. Is there a bounty on chimeras or creatures like that?
Its body's done sunk.
I think we have witnesses from the...
I thought you said you didn't see me kill it. Are you
Checkmate, Togo.
admitting you were lying?
Anyways. I didn't see you kill it. Obviously not, Zanashi. I just said we're going off what you said. Like,
But you
if
believe
you
me?
There's
I
gold
mean-
in it? Yes.
If there's gold in it, yes, exactly.
We can discuss the bounty on the bounty for this at a later date, I would think.
I don't even know if there is a bounty. I'm just curious. Any of you guys know? Offer it up
Speaking-
to the...
We could use its corpse for other things. We should at least bring it onto the ship.
I believe they're like Zanashi said, the corpses are sinking. I had the same idea about the griffin, but it did not. It's below the waves now.
Might as well check.
So if you can find it, go right ahead.
I guess we can start looking, Kyle, just to see if we can spot a body.
Yes, each of you can give me a perception check.
Nat
would-
20.
I would like to get a
Damn.
float.
I was like, I swear to God, if another nat 20 loads.
I said that hoping like he'll be a nat 20 so y'all could really think that I was fucking cheating or something.
If it did happen, then the only thing you would have heard me say, Lusk, at that point is, see?
Because I've done that in fantasy grounds, man, and fucking rolled a nat 20 like 2 times in a row.
He's killed the party doing that shit. Well, most of us.
Okay, I know what you're talking about now. I'm pretty sure I saw that. I would like to grab a barrel, not a big one, but like a 30 gallon barrel, and I would like to fly as high as I can towards the Chimera, or at least towards where Zanashi came from, to get the best sight I can.
Okay. Each of you, I mean, you can roll for Alencia, but at this point, no one's spotting anything.
Got it.
Unfortunate.
I'm going to check with my friend and see if he's within range to communicate, and then see if he's seen anything. He knows where the bodies are.
Each of you are fairly certain from where, the whereabouts of where the Chimera splashed down, with Lust kind of like hovering above. Unfortunately, there just seems to be no signs. Well, the first mate speaks up. If, you all are a bit curious of where that creature went, the waters aren't too deep here.
Hold on to my axe, Togo. And I
hold
jump
on to
off the ship going underwater trying to swim and look for this motherfucker.
All right, if he says that and I see Zanashi, Modar is going to strip down and go down and jump in the water.
As he sees each of you kind of like disenrobing, he will say, it's not like miles deep, but it's, still fairly deep.
I'd already jumped.
What do you
Alright.
What do you mean by how? Like, we're talking about a few hundred feet here, or are we talking about 15 or 20 feet?
Could be close to 100 at times, yeah? I'm just meaning it's not as deep as more off the coast. The cliff drops down quite a bit of miles. Just a few more 100 feet off to the south. That's why we're staying
Understandable.
close.
I understand. Hand me. Can you tie a rope off to myself? Make sure you've got enough line to get to the bottom.
The quickest way down, if that's what you're trying to do, would be to tie yourself off on the anchor.
That's tie a rope off to me and drop the anchor. Once we get close to wherever we think that this thing is, drop the anchor.
Okay.
So what I do is I tie the barrel to a length of 50-foot rope, and then I tie the rope around myself and use it kind of like a buoy.
Got it. Well, let's get into this a little bit next week, because I wasn't expecting a body recovery for a Chimera. And with holding your breath and movement underwater, I'd like to read up a little bit on that, and plus we're a little bit over our time anyways.
Well, I don't have to worry about holding my breath.
Well, that's one of three.
Oh, I know. I know.
But with that in mind, the last thing of note that I'd like to leave you all with is this. As, Togo, you and Alencia are practically left on the ship, alone, as the other three have gone to an attempt to recover the body of the Chimera. You hear a slight sound of thunder. You look over towards the east, where you had spotted the storm before. It seems to have grown 5 times in size. You can see the dark clouds being illuminated with each of the crackling bits of lightning that trace across the outsides of the clouds. Then, a few moments later, hearing the boom of the thunder. At that point, we'll go ahead and call tonight's session. So, overall, each of you definitely earned quite a bit of experience tonight, but I will hand that out once everyone's here. But from my math, it is over 1,000 apiece. I'm going to go ahead and just be slightly transparent here because I'm not going to give you the exact number, but I did award a little bit of a bonus EXP for how Zanashi slayed the beast because that was pretty epic, and I feel that it should be worth at least a little bit. So, with Zanashi's idea, at least she got inspiration personally, but then also benefits the party with the idea as well.
Worship Zanashi. I just hope you all.
Don't think I've ever had a player launch themselves from a ballista or seen a campaign where that happens, and I watch a lot of D&D content. I'm not saying it hasn't happened before. I'm sure it has somewhere in someone's game, somewhere in the world, but in my experience, that was the first, and that was pretty cool.
Well played, well called, and well rolled.
I mean, there's a big difference between doing it from like a fucking wall where there's land underneath you, but there's water underneath me, man. That's like the perfect opportunity to do it. If I miss, I mean, it's not going to hurt that bad.
The thing is, even you're a barbarian. If you rage before you hit, that's half damage. So I'm pretty sure you just survive. Like, I don't even think you really took damage, did you?
No.
They landed on the Chimera and rode the Chimera to the ground, to the water.
Oh my god, I would have loved that.
I mean, well, that's what I'm assuming happened. That way the Chimera took the brunt of hitting the water.
Would have been sick.
If there would have been a lower roll on the athletics, then I might have applied damage, but I think it was like in like the 20s. So being able to like do the attack and then like dive down essentially from what Zanashi had described, it was, I mean, maybe not the best of swings from what Zanashi is used to on land. However, did the job, and I mean, from Zanashi's point of view, to say the least, definitely looked epic and nice and clean.
If I was Zanashi, I would have argued to add the ballista's damage to the axe, but I mean, it was so close to dying. It just needed to land.
Yeah, I just had to land both blows.
Yeah, well, to be fair, you didn't even need the second one. You did enough damage with the first.
Yeah, but I still had to have that finish.
Oh, yeah, of course. I wasn't going to take it away from you. That's why I was like wanting to make sure exactly how you wanted to do it, because that was, I wanted that to be, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to clip that because that was pretty epic. But
my whole thought process on the whole taming was, I remember how hard it was to tame a Griffin. And I was like, his DCs are going to be fucking insane. I got to roll like 6 days in a row or some shit. I'm like, no, it's not going to be able to be possible. I'm not going to be that lucky.
It will kill someone first.
I figured that too. I was like, this thing is going to eat some fucking body.
So to let you know, Clue, I actually, because of what you had done in the past with some of the test games, I looked up how to tame like griffins and like high level like creatures kind of thing. And it is completely possible, but of course the DC is a lot higher than I was anticipating.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the stuff in the book I think I was reading was like a 28, like around there. I know it was in the 20s for sure. I'm not sure exactly what the DC was, but it's easier to do it from birth versus an adult.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. In fact, I read somewhere that it was really only possible to tame griffins if you had them from an egg. So I can't even imagine how hard a fucking chimera or a manticore would have been, but you have to try.
Or a rock. I always wanted a fucking rock.
Mm-hmm. And was attempted. Just didn't work out. But does anyone have anything to call out before we get out of here? That was in my opinion, a pretty fun session.
Killer. That
Yes,
was
well
my
done.
first battle. That's what I want to call out.
Yeah,
Well.
it was.
Thankfully, the captain was saved. I mean, I'll leave that with like a question mark because, I mean, to be perfectly honest, I thought I was like, okay, this is kind of the game plan, right? And if this does happen, then I expect the group just to commandeer the ship.
Yeah, I would too. That's
But I will say, Togo, you're lucky you moved away. I was coming for you. So that was a good
Yeah.
call.
I wasn't. Well, when I saw you, I'm like, is he really grabbing the captain right now? There's like 2 other characters right there. Like he's. All right. Wow. I wasn't sure if you wanted us to take the ship. I'm like, all right. Shit, are we gonna be fighting the rest of this crew?
Well, I leave everything up to the dice, so it's just like, I guess, scenarios. I was like, oh, this could happen, this could happen. I mean, it would be kind of funny to see Togo or someone get carried away, and then seeing Sanashi like get that little bit of like the grapple and then get cast overboard. I was like, I mean, kind of taking a player, but wasn't, I guess, how you could say like written in stone or anything. It always goes up to the dice.
I was really fucking hesitant with the going to get the captain at first. I'm like, can the group take a chimera? I don't know. Like, what level is that supposed to be anyhow?
It's a challenging opponent, but it's, I mean, overall not too difficult.
I will say, I guess it was a target-rich environment for the chimera, so it was probably less likely to kill someone because there are so many other things to focus on. But
I will say with that, I hope everyone had fun. Have a good night. I saw that Kavo disconnected. I'm not sure if he had internet issues or whatever, but other than that, I hope, again, everyone had a good time. And tomorrow we have TOA, Clue?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See most of you tomorrow for TOA. Have a good night, and drop a follow if you haven't already, please. It helps support the channel a lot. And for more D&D content, and then, I mean, some shenanigans with other games, where we usually play a lot of co-op and then find ourselves in not so great of situations. Have a good night, everybody. See you next time.